Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back. In this video, we are looking at the NFL slate for Wild Card Weekend. This is for the Saturday slate. 2 games today, starting at 4:30. We also have NBA going on, which has been great this week. Hit again yesterday for NBA. The core plays were solid. Garland, Fox, had Bagley in the forward spot yesterday, so dropped over 300 on Draftkings, 310 on Fanduel for that. It's been a 4-1 week so far for NBA. Also have MMA starting back up. I'll have probably a parlay on Twitter for that as well later. So just a busy day. If you wanted to join us on the site, you can visit the website, dfsprocess.net. You can check out prize picks. I'll have some picks out later today as well. So starting off at the quarterback position today, you have 4 guys to choose from. Mack Jones, Derek Carr are the cheapest of the bunch, and they're a lot cheaper than Josh Allen and Joe Burrow. I'll probably pass on Mack Jones. He's 53. With all the other quarterbacks giving you a little bit more upside, like Jones gives you the lowest floor. I would say they have the lowest total, and it's supposed to be really cold in Buffalo. Not supposed to be like snow or anything like that, but just very, very cold. I'd rather go up $500 to Derek Carr, who's led the team on a 4-game winning streak. The fantasy scores haven't been great because they've been reliant on Josh Jacobs and running the football. But this one, if they get down or it turns into a shootout, I definitely could see Derek Carr. Even last week was a shootout, but Carr only threw for under 200 yards, which is surprising when they put up 35. But that game was just insane. But this one, I really don't mind going Derek Carr. You're saving a lot of money, and you might be able to get up to one of the expensive wide receivers. Then you have Joe Burrow at 73. He's had 2 monster games to close out his season. 8 touchdowns the last couple of weeks against 2 formidable AFC teams, even though the Ravens missed the playoffs. But against the Chiefs, led them to a comeback victory. He looks like a very good option today. He'd be the second guy, but Josh Allen is still my favorite. No, none of the other 3 quarterbacks give you the rushing upside that Josh Allen gives you. He's gonna put his body, in danger a lot of the times just to get those extra yardage and to fight for the touchdowns. He has a chance to get you 2 rushing touchdowns. You can't say the same thing about any of these other guys, and he definitely doesn't really like this New England team. But they've already scored off a couple of times. One game was the terrible weather game where he put up 13, and then the most recent game, he put up 34 when he just went all out and threw for over 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. So I like Josh Allen, even though you can consider Derek Carr and Joe Burrow. At running back, there's 3 guys that really stick out: Joe Mixon, Josh Jacobs, Singletary. Damian Harris is in that mix as well. He should be able to play. He's had some big games against Buffalo this year, and they've been because he's been able to get into the end zone. He has 4 touchdowns into 2 games against Buffalo, but he's not going to really catch you a ton of passes with Stevenson there. So he does have 15 rushing touchdowns on the year. If they are able to move the ball against this Buffalo defense, and they will try to run the football when they're inside the 10 and inside the 5, he does give you touchdown upside. But I got to go Joe Mixon against the Raiders defense. He also will be a 3-down back, especially in the playoffs. He has 14 targets the last couple of weeks, and he's still going to get you, 15, close to 20 rushes. So just a bunch of upside. He has 16 touchdowns on the year. And this game I do expect to be very high scoring. Then I'm going Josh Jacobs, 66. He's also been just a workhorse the last 4 weeks or so. Catches you some passes, gets you some targets, utilized heavily inside the red zone. And against Cincinnati, they've been good against the rush this year, but they've already played Cincinnati, and Josh Jacobs had 11 fantasy points, only had 14 touches, which you definitely expect to increase. They just got blown out in that game. But the way that Josh Jacobs has been looking recently, I definitely want to play him at a favorable price tag. Wide receiver, definitely can go Jamar Chase or Stephon Diggs. They are the 2 best wide receivers on the slate. But in terms of just a mid-range play, I like Hunter Renfrow. I've been playing him a lot at the end of the year, and it's been working out great. He has 4 touchdowns in the last 3 weeks. Had almost another one against the Colts where he got ruled down by like a fingertip. But he's been balling out ever since they've lost Henry Ruggs. And even with Darren Waller coming back last week, Renfrow still got into the end zone twice. So he's still utilized a lot. On 3rd down situations, he's Carr's go-to weapon. So I got to like him. And then I do like Tyler Boyd at only 46. He's super cheap. He's been solid all year in terms of just a solid floor. You're getting around 10 to 15 fantasy points a game out of him every single week for the most part. He does give you touchdown upside with 3 touchdowns the last couple of weeks. And he's going to be playing the slot against this Raiders defense. He did have a decent game against them earlier. We had 8 targets. So at 46, I like him more than like Myers. Probably like him a little bit more than T. Higgins, just saving some money. He's just very affordable. And then another wide receiver that you can consider, now that Sanders is back, it's a little bit more crowded in the Buffalo wide receiving core, but their price tags are just very favorable. 43 for Sanders, 42 for Beasley, and then 39 for Gabe Davis. I think they all are playable if you're making a bunch of teams. You have one guy sandwiched right in that mix, and that is Zay Jones, who I think you can play him also. He's only 4K. He's gotten a ton of targets the last 4 or 5 weeks, 8, 10, 8, 9, 7. They don't get much production out of Bryan Edwards. So Zay Jones, Hunter Renfrow, the two receivers are going to get some attention. Waller's going to get some attention at the tight end position. And then Josh Jacobs. The Raiders only have like 4 or 5 real playmakers that they're going to throw the ball to, whereas Buffalo does have a number. Cincinnati has a number. And with the price tags being favorable on some of these Raiders guys, they're just the ones I feel good about. Definitely looking to load up on the first game. I think that is going to be the best for DFS. But on the Buffalo side, I love Josh Allen. And then Singletary is going to be also another guy that you are most likely going to want to play. He is 58, been getting all the work for the Buffalo Bills recently, and the price tag is just way too cheap. So I'll plug in Singletary here as well, and then maybe I'll take out Zay Jones just to make it a little bit more balanced. But those are the 6 guys that I feel very good about. Tight end wise, I think Uzama gives you upside for just a mid-range option if you're not going to be looking to get up to Waller at 57, or Dawson Knox are the 3 that I'm looking at. And then defense wise, you could look all the way down to the Raiders with Max Crosby, hoping that he can get some sacks. But if you're looking to pay up, it's going to be for the Bills. Those are the Bills and the Raiders are the 2 defenses that have some attention. For me, I don't want to play the Pats against Josh Allen. And that's it for the video. Just a quick 2-gamer. Wanted to give you guys my initial thoughts. Let's go over to FanDuel. All right, for FanDuel, quarterback-wise, it's a $1,000 gap between Josh Allen and Joe Burrow. Another $1,000 gap between Burrow and Derek Carr. And then you have Mack Jones at 65. So I probably like Burrow a lot at his price tag. Josh Allen and him are similar based on the price tags. And then Derek Carr would be the 3rd guy that I'm looking at. But I'm going to plug in Joe Burrow on FanDuel. It's a little bit easier to get to him just because of the price tags. Running back, still the top 3 are Joe Mixon, Josh Jacobs, and Devin Singletary. Damon Harris is in the mix as well, but he's 75. He's more expensive than Singletary and Josh Jacobs. So for me, I'm going to be playing Joe Mixon for sure. Josh Jacobs and Devin Singletary, just loaded myself up with 3 solid running backs. Are all looking to get you 20. All have a chance for 20-plus touches. Wide receiver, Jamar Chase, Stephon Diggs are both great options if you can get to them. I don't mind saving a little bit of money and getting to Hunter Renfrow, who's been performing as a top wide receiver the last half of the year. And then you have T. Higgins, 69. Tyler Boyd is still at a good price tag at $6,000. You can maybe look to some of these Buffalo guys, still like Zay Jones, sandwiched in between those 3 Buffalo Bills. And that's the main pieces. I don't really need to go down here to like McKenzie or Deshaun Jackson. Maybe for tournaments if you're making a lot of teams. But definitely Hunter Renfrow looks to be one of the better options. Now I'll plug in Tyler Boyd once again. I just like his price tag. It's better on DraftKings, but FanDuel, it's still a favorable price tag. If you wanted to get up to T. Higgins, you can do that as well. But Boyd is going to be looking at 6 to 8 targets like he does every single week, and the price tag is reasonable. And tight end wise, Waller is the best option. Uzama is fine for a value pick, but it's probably Waller, Knox, and Uzama as the 3 that I'm somewhat interested in. And defense wise, Buffalo is the best, followed by probably the Raiders just for the value. I don't want to pay 43 for the Bengals, and I don't want to play the Patriots when I expect Josh Allen and the Bills to just roll. So that's it for the video. Pretty core centered around that first game, but I feel solid that one will be a shootout. So thanks for watching. Best of luck tonight, and I'll see you all next time.